But guys go out here and they practice and they try things. People become professional practicers, and they can't get out the gate. As soon as the bell go off, they trip right out the gate.
Yeah, it's, you know, I was going to say something when you were talking about practice before, because I used to be one of those guys, and I still kind of am. I'm a slow starter. It's that first game. I don't know what it is. And even in warm-ups, you're practicing and you've got a good look. Everything is great, but then all of a sudden the lights come on, and your first 5 frames.
3-6-10.
Yeah, you're like, what is going on? And you feel like you're throwing it okay, but something clicks and something just isn't different until you settle back down.
Right.
How do you get past that?
I mean, for me, usually it takes a tragic event.
Yeah.
Like, usually it takes, like, open for me to finally be like, well, we got nothing to lose now. Now we need to just get going.
Right.
You know, but if I start out grinding and I'm like, strike, spare, double, spare, that's when I panic.
Yeah.
I don't panic when I start out, you know, open, strike, open. I don't panic at that point because now I'm like, I got 8 games. I'm good to go. But if I know I have a really good look and I start out spare, strike, you know, something like that, that's when I start panicking. Because I'm not putting the doubles together. I'm like, here we go. It's going to be another one of those 9 spare days where I'm never going to be able to put anything together. And eventually I find my way out of it. But usually it's a game or a game and a half until
I was telling them that if you really look at it, depending on what you're bowling on, you got to look at your strike average. Don't wait till you come back. Wait till you got to look at your strike average. So if you're bowling on something hard, literally you might have to average 5 or 6 strikes a game. That's literally what you might have to average. Best bowlers are going to get their 8 or 9 or 8 strikes maximum on something tough.
Or they're going to make sure 4 of them are in a row.
Yeah, they're going to put something in a row, right? But but at the end of the game, they're going to have about between 6 to 8 strikes in that game, and bowl good, lead the field. You bowl on something easier, that now turns into the average is probably 7 strikes.
Right.
So in theory, you got to look at it and say, well, I need to find 2 more strikes when they're easier for the field, not for you, for the field. Because theoretically, when you're bowling good, they're China. They're always China when you're bowling good, when you are bowling good. You don't really care what the field's doing. You shouldn't anyways, because that can become a variable as well.
Sure.
You have to create some form of tunnel vision and not worry about what's going on. I'll tell you my pet peeve about bowling that I've always hated. I've always voiced this about bowling. I've always hated it, but I got to get over it. I know I have to, but I can admit it on camera and say I hate match play. I think match play is the dumbest thing for bowling because it doesn't crown the true champion, in my opinion.
I was just thinking, I'm like, I'm not a good match play bowler.
I'm not either.
I love round robin.
I am too.
Like actual
because it includes everything, the entire tournament.
Sure, winning the match helps, but mostly it's still about how well you score versus the field.
Right. So, just going through that, just to continue on to that, I believe bowling should be a thing where it includes the qualifying as well as the next day. If it's the next day, the next round, it should all be inclusive. It shouldn't be a thing where I average 260, I lead the field, I shoot 260 again, and I lose my match and I go home.
Yep,
I think that's so crazy to me. But people don't see anything wrong with it because they just go with the norm as far as how bowling has always been. You make a cut, you go into match play. And I'm like, why are we going into match play? I just led this field by 400 pins, and now I'm a bowler guy. We're going to both catch this pair, and it's not fair to him if he shoots 250 and loses or whatever. I shoot 260, he shoots 250, he loses and goes home. Then we're watching everybody else around us. That's the problem. There's the variable. I'm looking at what everybody else is doing when I should just be focusing on my one match.
That's the Masters. I've done that 2 out of the last 3 years. I've lost the first round shooting 650 or 660 or something, which is a pretty good score.
It is a great score.
Fresh out there.
Right.
And I'm looking, and of the 32 matches going on, I would have won 28 of them.
Yes.
But I just happened to catch the one guy on the wrong pair.
Right.
And he could have been the last qualifier.
Right.
So you could have been the first qualifier. He's knocked you out.
Right.
So, and that's frustrating. But like, just imagine if this was golf. Like, imagine if Tiger Woods went out there and led the field by 7 strokes. Went out, and now it's match play, and he goes and plays the first hole, birdies that hole, but catches the one guy that eagles that hole,
and he loses, and it's over. Right.
Like, really?
Right. I've never liked match play because of that.
And I mean, I understand like the excitement value, because now you feel like, oh, anybody in the field could win.
It's not true.
It's not true.
If you carry pins over into the match play format,
But that's what I'm saying though. If it's strictly match play, pins don't carry over.
Oh, if it's
anybody can win.
Right.